Behind hot. Ooh. Welcome.
Welcome back to One Ingredient 5 Way. So we take one ingredient and make 5 delicious recipes.
If you're new here, Budget Bites has been around since 2009. We focus on bringing you low-cost meals that are nutritious, easy to make, and won't break the bank.
This episode, we are focusing on what is most likely the MVP of meal prep. You can roast it, you can cook it in a slow cooker, you can shove a beer can up its and put it in the oven. Let's get cooking!
First up, we have our whole crock-pot chicken. I have just updated the recipe a little bit to make it more of a complete meal. So there are red potatoes, carrots, celery, onion underneath the chicken, propping it up. I do have this little tinfoil sling that I've created. Put it under the whole chicken once it's seasoned with the veggies underneath it, and then cook it for about 4 hours on high. It turns out perfect. I love how super easy this recipe is, and I can't wait for you to try it.
The next recipe I'm excited to share with you is our traditional chicken salad, which is on the blog, and this is a classic. It uses an entire rotisserie chicken. It ends up being so much food. You can use this for meal prep for multiple people for a whole week. You're going to have your chicken shredded, looking delicious. You're going to add red onion, celery, some chopped walnuts, and we use quartered red grapes in this one. So if you aren't into grapes in your chicken salad, I also have a really great recipe on Budget Bites for strawberry chicken salad, which is such a delicious, really bright recipe as well. And some salt and pepper. And it's a decent amount of salt and pepper because that is a lot of meat. And my favorite ingredient, the white vinegar, which really brightens everything up. And of course, mayonnaise. We have a great homemade mayonnaise video and recipe on the blog as well. And then you just fold it all in. I love to serve this chicken salad with fresh baked croissants that I picked up this morning on my way in. And I will just make 1 or 2 sandwiches, put them in the fridge. You can just grab them. It is so easy. It takes a little bit of vegetable prep, but such an easy recipe. And you can add a little bit of fresh lettuce, sliced apples, anything else that you have on hand that you can think of that's gonna really make your sandwich unique and fun for you and your family to eat.
Our next recipe is our grilled drumsticks. This recipe couldn't be easier and more flavorful. If you don't have a fancy grill, don't worry. We use this indoor grill and they came out amazing, delicious, crispy, everything you want in grilled chicken. These drumsticks were actually brined, dried off, and then dry rubbed with a beautiful mixture of chili, cumin, dried oregano, onion, garlic, salt, pepper, everything flavorful you can think of, and then grilled until they reached 165.
When you're in the grocery store, it's easy to get tied up not knowing if you should be buying broth or stock. So what is the difference between broth and stock? A broth is a finished product. So the way that broth should be enjoyed is typically herbs, vegetables, kind of extra spices added, and it can be drank or used as an ingredient as is. You don't really have to do too much to it. Whereas stock is all of the gelatin and the collagen from the animal bones and skins and all the odds and ends of vegetables when you're cooking. Those things can all be thrown into a stock pot to make stock. Stock is an ingredient, whereas broth is a finished product. When I'm making either our pulled chicken recipe that's on the blog or a crock pot chicken, there you see all the fat drippings start to kind of come off that bird. So I will either freeze broth if I have too much of it or stock, and you'll notice there's a lot of fat kind of congealing on the tops of my ice cube here, and that's how I know that these are my stock cubes. But I'll take these out of the ice tray and I'll label it as such. And whenever you need just a small amount of stock in a recipe, you can just throw an ice cube in the pan and you're good to go.
For our last recipe, we are doing honey spiced chicken thighs. Originally on the blog, these are bone-in, but I want to talk about the difference between the benefits of bone-in and boneless. Boneless obviously takes less time to cook, so we are cutting the cook time in half with these boneless chicken thighs. Of course, we've got honey, we've got spices, and then lastly, a little splash of apple cider vinegar.
Okay, stir this all together. Okay, so we're just gonna brush
Yep.
this mixture.
You're going to take about half of it, brush it. For boneless, I'm going to go 10 minutes, take it back out, brush it again, really based on that flavor. I wish we had smell-o-vision. It smells so good. And we're going to add another layer. We'll see in 10 minutes. So the honey has a nice caramelization to it. All those spices are bold. Bone in, bone out.
Potato, potato.
Make sure to check our blog for a million different chicken recipes. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of One Ingredient, 5 Ways.
There's so many great ways to prepare and eat chicken.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Let us know how you love your chicken.
Where we focused on chicken, so many great ways.
I lost it, I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I made it weird.
Doing this.
Yes, Jess.
What is it?
It's ducks. Oh, cute.